everybody? Vegas Morgella Man here, and I am just got done coming down El Cajon Pass from Las Vegas coming into California. El Cajon Pass right between Victorville, where you drop off down into Southern California. And I just wanted to go live real quick, show you the smog around here, man. Right at the bottom, there's a lot of crap in the air, but not a chemtrail in the sky. Ain't that a blessing? Look at this. Oh, let me clean the camera off for y'all. A little dirty. Look at how bad. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's smoggy. It's a good day to be alive. Share a little bit with y'all. Back when I was 18 years old, how do I turn this thing around here? Yeah, back when I was 18 years old, I was working for a summer camp for the Boy Scouts of America at the time. They had a deal down near Lake Arrowhead, California, where I could go for 9 weeks and work at this Boy Scout camp as a counselor. I'd be living out there. They actually had cabins at that point. Before, when I worked there, we stayed in tents, but they had a cabin there, you know, and I was going up there to teach Boy Scouts how to shoot shotguns. And I got down there and found out that they were short on 18-year-olds, and they needed an 18-year-old at the climbing wall they have there. They have a nice 50-foot climbing wall, and they needed someone 18. They already had somebody that they had been training for the past 6 weeks to be, you know, my superior. But anyway, I never repelled before. I really didn't want to do it. I've been always scared of heights. I've always had dreams of falling. It scared the crap out of me, and just really wasn't down with it. But you know, they said basically either do that or do nothing. They were kind of rude. But anyway, I went to go do my first rappel, and this was training week, the week before the kids got there, you know, for the first week of summer camp. And was being trained. So this 50-foot wall was constructed with 3 telephone poles, big telephone poles. And these telephone poles are about 50 feet in height. And on the back side, they were kind of shaped in a triangle, the pillars. And there was a front side and a back side. And on the back side, there was little hooks in the wood where you could, you know, use bunny ears, which is basically you have your harness on and 2 ropes that come out with carabiners, so that you can go up the back of this, you know, pole, and you can clip in. And I had to do that because at the time I was a little fat kid. I was pretty fat. I was like 270 pounds, and I couldn't climb up the front side of the wall. I kept falling, you know, couldn't do it. So they decided, you know, let me do one thing, you know, one step at a time, clip in. So I get to the top, finally. I'm at the top. I'm scared. I'm like, man, I wish I would have never signed on with this. I don't know. And I'm telling my instructor, like, you know, I need to smoke a cigarette. I'm freaking out, so I'm shaking. My program director happens to see that I'm having problems, so he decides he's gonna climb up this wall with no gear on, a 50-foot wall, just climbs right up it, and says, no, nothing to be scared of, man, you know, just lean back. And so I'm like, nah, man, I'm scared. Are you sure I'm in correctly? I asked my instructor, you know, 5 times, are you sure it's correct? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. You know, blah, blah, blah. And they said, man, just lean back. So, and I'm right-handed. You'll see why I say that in a second. I lean back, and mind you, I'm going to rappel, so I'm going backwards. My equipment rope snaps from my body because my instructor had switched where he puts the extra carabiner and my main line. My main line happened to be connected to a utility loop, which is like a shoestring or like a belt loop on your pants, like, you know, not going to support shit. So he hooked me up incorrectly. It snaps, and my program director, we called him Riptide. He was Riptide says, grab the rope, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm falling. So I went, and for some reason, because my left hand was, you know, closer, I grabbed it with my left hand with all my might, and it started to swing me back into the wall. Well, this wall, about, say, like 10 feet down from the top ledge, was a second little area that came out like this, like a ledge, like, and I tried to grab onto it. So when I tried to grab onto it, I smacked the left side of my head, and ended up going backwards, free falling about 25-30 feet onto my back. So
in half a mile, keep left to stay on I-15 south. So
anyway, fall pretty much the whole way. If I hadn't grabbed that rope, I would have free fell and I've been done. There's no way I could have survived it.
Keep left to stay on I-15 south.
Sorry about that. Let me turn this down. Alright. So I'm very lucky to be alive, needless to say. When I had grabbed that rope with my left hand, I had snapped my wrist, called a scaphoid fracture. The scaphoid's one of the round bones in your wrist. The stress from me grabbing that thing, it snapped in half. So they had to helicopter me out, and this was 6/22/06. This happened back in 2006. The very next day, I actually stood up and I had a cast on my left arm all the way up to my almost shoulder, and they told me, you know, I just had a chipped vertebrae and I was good. So I kind of walked and hobbled. Parents came and got me and took me back up to the, you know, the camp to get my stuff, and my dad's livid, you know, pissed off. This could happen, and I didn't think I was really that badly injured at the time. So anyway, I get back to Las Vegas and I have a workman's comp case. Now, I feel I should have had a personal injury case also, but I kept being told I couldn't have that if it's an on-the-job injury, it's not a personal injury case. Well, there was mass negligence, dude. This guy that hooked me up, I asked him 5 times, am I incorrectly? And, you know, he said, yeah, lean back, you're fine. 5 times, 6 times. He's a weirdo too, man. Like, I don't know. On top of the pills I got from the hospital. So within the first 2 weeks, I had 120 Lortab 10s, 120 Percocet 10s. I had somas, like 180 somas, and I think another bottle of hydrocodone. Between the hand doctor, the back doctor, and the hospital I was at in California, I was loaded up on pills like no one's business, and they just kept throwing them at me. So I didn't know there was such thing as dependency or addiction with that. I was young, you know, I was hurting, so I took them like candy. 3 months later, my back doctor says, man, you're good to go, we're gonna close out your case, blah blah. I said, bro, what are you talking about? I'm in massive pain, I'm having to take all these pills. What are you talking about? There has to be something wrong. You sure? He said, nope, nothing wrong, just chipped vertebrae. And I'm like, man. So he closes out my case, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in pain now. I can't get my pain medication. Nothing, just dropped. No coverage, no nothing. And if I wanted to use my own coverage, I was risking any future coverage from workman's comp. So I got a lawyer. The lawyer tells me we're gonna have to put you on. It's gonna take about a year to get to qualified medical evaluation in California for a doctor down here to overturn your case. In the meantime, you're gonna have to go to emergency rooms or, you know, family doctor to get your pain meds. And this was before they put this, you know, stringent stuff down, all the different things on the pills, because, you know, that was back when they were prescribing them like crazy, like Skittles. So I spent a year in so much pain. I was on the floor screaming, crying, going to emergency rooms every week just to get pills. And it got so bad. It's so bad. And I finally saw the doctor down here. I found out workman's comp was trying to cover up a completely blown disc at the L3, L4 level of my lumbar spine. It was just completely crushed, crushing a nerve. And, you know, I had nerve damage. I started having problems walking on my left, you know, leg. Constant pain. They ended up wanting to do surgery, so it took 3 years to get that hammered out. So in 2009, I finally had, you know, my back surgery, and they fused my L3, L4 in my lumbar. By that time, I was a full-blown dependent, you know, drug addict, I guess you would say. There's no way to really fancy it up at all. They fucked me, you know, and I wasn't under the care of a good pain management doctor or nothing, and so the damage had been done. Well, this lawyer I get, they don't tell me about different hearings and stuff in California that I'm supposed to make, and the first couple I would get mail notification, then it got to a point where just, you know, nothing. I was just going to the doctor every month, and they were giving me pills, and, you know, I couldn't get off the pills because I was in pain, and just the whole 9 yards. And so I finally went down to California. I showed up at my lawyer's office and get in their face like, why aren't you answering the phone? Why is your voicemail full? You know, why? And they fed me a, you know, load full of shit, saying that they were going to settle out my case, and, you know, a couple months I'd be fine, and not to worry, that they were on it now. Well, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So I finally did that again and found out that, you know, they were trying to settle my case out, and they wanted to settle it for $90,000. I said, are you serious? It's been 11 years they put me to the side. 10, 11 years. Try to cover this up. And you only want to give me maybe $20,000 after it's all said and done? I said, nope. You better try harder. So I catch my lawyer in a shit ton of lies. I record it. So I got, long story short, I have a hearing today at the courthouse for Workman's Comp Appeals Board in California. They don't know I'm showing up because they think, you know, we're gonna settle. I got the Workman's Comp to agree to settle for $141,000 for the whole case, and so I'd be getting $60,000 after everything's said and done. All the bills are paid and all that loveliness. So they sent me the paperwork to sign, and they were gonna get it back and take it down to this courthouse today and settle it out. It states that I am not receiving any type of Medicare and waive my right to future Medicare coverage for, you know, my life. Good thing I read, because for one, if I would have signed that, I am on Medicare and I do receive coverage now. I would have been purging myself. It'd be perjury, you know, it'd be lying. So I tried calling my lawyer back, you know, because I know this hearing's coming up. They sent it out on Wednesday, and called them every day, left messages, everything. Guess what? Not answering phone calls, not returning phone calls. It's like they're trying to make sure I don't come, make sure I don't come down, but just screw over working for Workman's Comp. And I've seen cases down here in California. It's at 1:30. I'm gonna show up. I got sound clips of my lawyer, little 10-20 second sound bites of things they said where they're contradicting themselves and lying to me straight out about the law and X, Y, and Z, right? And also, I also got the fact that, you know, Workman's Comp denied me treatment for a whole year on a crushed disc. Denied me treatment. A Boy Scout. They don't want to go to court with me. Are you crazy? They're going to lose. Big time lose. So they thought I was going to settle for $140,000. I made them think that. Today they're going to come down here and guess what? They're going to look in my eyes. Oh wait, no, they're not going to look in my eyes. Because guess what my lawyer decided to tell me? I don't think this is true. Tell me out there, YouTube. Please tell me. In the state of California, I'm in San Bernardino. When you go to face Workman's Comp, you know, their counsel, their attorneys or whatever, and you're negotiating, wouldn't you think that, you know, you meet face to face in a little room or something, or you're in a courtroom with the judge? Nope. My attorney says, oh, well, usually sometime, or usually most of the time, they're in a separate room, and this is the attorney talking, I'm the only one that talks to them. I go in between, cannot face Workman's Comp or see or communicate with